Guys, welcome to the I Love CVille Show. It's Jerry Miller. It's great to be with you on a Thursday across Charlottesville, Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, and the world. This show powered by the fine folks at Interstate Pest and Service Company, Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine, Cameron Limousine, Animal Connection, Anderson Seafood and Catering, and a handful of other businesses that we will highlight today on the program. I am so pumped to welcome a good friend to the show, Bo Stockton, the restaurateur behind Michael's Bistro on the University of Virginia corner. This man has literally climbed the ranks in the restaurant business from the bottom to the top. I've known him since 2002. We were servers at Ruby Tuesdays. Today, he is the proud owner of a local institution on the UVa Corner in Michael's Bistro. He has a fabulous Thanksgiving Day event going on that we're going to spotlight. We're going to get to know the entrepreneur, the visionary, the philanthropist, if you may, the humanitarian, if you may, the lover of Charlottesville, Virginia, and Bo Stockton. Before we do, let's thank Interstate Pest and Service Companies. We are their proud advertising agency of record, whether it's TV commercials, radio commercials, their website, social media, search engine optimization, e-newsletter. It originates on the first and second floors of the Macklin Building on Markin Street. This business started in 1969 with the first generation, Mr. Robert Wells. And in 1969, he used his personal truck and sweat equity to build a company. Today, Interstate Pest and Service Companies has 4 generations of family in the business, 100 employees in a Commonwealth-wide working footprint, and we love working alongside them. Just like we love working alongside the good doctor, Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine, physical therapy, chiropractic care. Dr. Wagner has your back. Now, I have the easy job. I'm just here being myself. Judah Wickhauer, our director, has the hard job. Thank you, Judah. Let's go to the studio cam and let's welcome Bo Stockton to the show. Bo, how are you, my friend?
I'm great, Jerry. I just kind of have, I guess, one question to get started. What do I do with my hands?
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
No rules here, baby.
I love it.
Congratulations on Michael's Bistro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And congratulations on your success, Jerry. The show has been cool. I tune in all the time. I love to see what's going on in the city, and I think you've got a good pulse and strategy of getting it all out there. So thank you for what you do.
Absolutely our pleasure. John Schmaltz giving you some props. Christopher Wright giving you some props. Give it a like and a share. Bellamy Brown watching. Ray Jordan. James Watson. I count 1,900 on the cast right now. I'm going to throw this to you, Bo Stockton.
Yes,
before
sir.
we get to the business.
Okay.
Let's talk about Bo Stockton, the man. What makes you tick, baby?
Very difficult question. I would say a lot of things, but the ultimate goal for me is to just kind of be myself. I try to live every day as who I am, and I try to make sure that the people around me know they should do the same thing. I get a lot of that instilled, I guess, from my childhood, from my mother and from my father and my family and how we were raised. Jerry, you've known me for a while. I love to have
17 years?
Yeah, I love to have a lot of fun, but I also love to really try to focus on, I think, other people a little more than I should maybe sometimes.
One of the things I love about you, and I've lived it with you in some ways, 17 years ago, 2002, we meet at Ruby Tuesdays in Barracks Road. It's now, what, a salad joint?
Yeah, Chopped.
Chopped. It's now Chopped. Okay, so 2002, 17 years ago. How old are you, like 34?
37 this year.
Okay, so same age.
Well, no, 27 this year.
Yeah, 27. Okay, you were working as a server at 10. All right, so 17 years ago. Dude, 17 years ago, all we cared about was getting after it.
Yeah.
Getting some cash in our pocket.
And going and drinking.
And partying.
Yeah, we made Charlottesville our playground.
Right. We worked hard
really
and we
did.
played even harder. Mm-hmm. Now, 17 years later, we are fathers.
Yes, sir.
We're business owners.
Yes, sir.
We're committed to Charlottesville.
How did that happen?
What? I mean, isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Mitch Behrens, Lampo, and Prime 109 was there.
Yeah.
Well, Brian Colbert, who's was a GM or assistant GM at a Hop's Kitchen, Pro Renata, was there. Our good buddy Shane Reed was there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost like you're a sports guy.
Sure.
It's almost like a farm system for a lot of talent that's matured in Charlottesville.
I agree with you, actually. And it goes even a step further. I believe that one of the cooks that was there when we were there, Noah Kromowski, has helped pioneer many restaurants in this town as well. I'm not sure where he's currently employed, but yeah, man, Ruby Tuesdays was a stomping ground, buddy.
What does it feel like to be? Let me talk about you first.
Sure.
Father of two.
The most incredible experience in the world. There is nothing that compares to my children. Nothing in this world could come close to it, Jerry. And you've got a beautiful son, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I do.
And
20 months.
You know the feeling then, but mine are 11 and 12. They're out of the nest. My daughter uses all my data on the cell phone plan by Tuesday every week. My son wants to watch YouTube, but they're both doing phenomenal in school. They both are willing to volunteer for my event on Thursday. They're excited about it. They're great kids. They're the joy of my life.
How did fatherhood change you?
I would say that it showed me responsibility must happen. There's no choice anymore. You know, you can have as much fun as you want, but it shows you there's something more than you. There's a bigger thing.
Is there anything more challenging that you've done than being a dad?
No.
Right. It's so hard, right?
And I think I fail at it every day. And
no,
I try
you don't.
really well. I mean, what I mean is I always want to do more, and I think we all do. But no, there's nothing more challenging, man. It is. It's brutal and difficult, but it's wonderful and amazing. And yeah, opening a restaurant was a cakewalk. the kids, they were fun.
Let's talk about the evolution of Bo Stockton. Where'd you grow up?
Louisa County.
Okay. Lions? Go Lions?
Go Lions, absolutely.
Okay.
I think the 4 years that I was there, we won a total of 0 football games.
And then Mark Fisher arrived.
So
Yeah.
I'm so proud of what that community has done. Doug Straley, as a superintendent, has been amazing.
Yeah. He was the athletic director at Louisa County High School.
Well, Noel, I can't remember Mr. Noel's first name, but he was the athletic director when I was in school there, and Straley was, I believe, the baseball coach. I can't remember accurately. It was a very long time ago. But as he's climbed through the ranks and brought that program around, I'm so proud to see what that town's doing and how they're acting, man. But those are my roots, that small town, and to be honest, I go back there twice a week. I see the people. My uncle's the mayor of Louisa.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's my family is very deeply rooted in that community, and we're very proud of it. And it's grown a lot. When I was born, there was 1 stoplight, and now there's 4 and a Walgreens and a McDonald's.
A lot of people don't know this about Bo Stockton. Bo Stockton is a phenomenal golfer.
Played a couple times. I wouldn't say phenomenal, but
I would say you're a damn good golfer.
Well, thank you. I
Okay,
appreciate
someone who hacks it up on the weekends every now and again, to see somebody who shoots in the 70s and is razor focused and keeps the ball in the short grass, and what are you probably 20 rolls per round on the green, maybe? 22, 23, 24.
If I hit 24, I'm not taking my putter home with me.
That's how that's how good he is. That's how I first, one of the common grounds that you would have were sports fans.
Yeah.
And I was spitballing with you at Ruby Tuesdays in a slow time, and you're like, yeah, I play golf, I do this. Talk to me about how you got into that game, because I know it means a lot.
Oh man, that's actually that's a great thing to bring up, Jerry. My father introduced me to golf when I was young, and he still works at the respiratory department for Martha Jefferson Hospital here in Charlottesville, and he took on side jobs at 3 different golf courses. Once he found out that I liked it, he would refill water coolers and weed eat for free, so he and I could go out and play golf on these golf courses. Shenandoah Crossing is where it began, then Tanyard Country Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Lake of the Woods out in Orange. There was a whole lot of effort, and I learned very young, the mannerisms in golf and the respect that you have to have for the sport and the people that you play with. I think it really helped to mold and shape me. And my son was born on Father's Day, which is the coolest gift in the world, and it happened to be the final round of the U.S. Open. And
get out,
Jerry, I promise you, there's a picture of me holding him. He is about 45 minutes old, and I ran down to the gift shop and I bought a golf ball. It's got a UVA logo on it that they were selling in the gift shop, and I wrote how much he weighed. And there's a picture of him holding the golf ball and Angel Cabrera winning the U.S. Open that year.
Get out!
I will never forget that day for the rest of my life. Golf is very important to our family. My son plays, he enjoys it. My daughter really likes the sport and I think would be good at it if she wanted to try it, but she's more into soccer and some other things. But golf has been a huge part of my life. It's brought a lot of opportunity to me, a lot of travel, and the chance to meet some pretty cool people.
You got a lot of people watching the show right now. Let me pass along some positive commentary. And guys, if you want to pass along a message to Bo, just put it in the comment section and I'll relay it to him. Jeremy, is it Hag?
Jeremy Hag. I love Jeremy
Yeah,
Hag.
he's watching right now. He says, "This is great."
What's up, Jeremy?
Congratulations, Bo.
How's that
Tom
beard?
Williams, his beard is looking good.
Beard's looking good.
Tom Williams is watching right now. He
Old
says,
Twill.
"Congratulations, this is awesome."
Thank you.
Give it a like, give it a share on any of the streams that you're watching, just like Vanessa Russell has done. Terry Riles, giving you some props right now.
That's high school. Thank you, Terry.
That's old school right now.
Yeah.
We have Charlotte, North Carolina watching the show right now. Folks outside Philly, across Charlottesville and Central Virginia, and I see a lot of folks in Northern Virginia and D.C. watching. Okay, so Bo Stockton grows up in Louisa County, the thriving metropolis that is in Louisa County, Virginia.
You are correct.
Okay, how do you go from Louisa to Charlottesville?
Easy transition, Jerry, to be honest with you, was my father working at Martha Jefferson and my mother worked at UVA for years.
Joy?
My mother, Joy, which I hope we can get into in a little bit, but I grew up without very many means, and babysitting and things like that weren't as easy as they are today. Not that I think they're easy today by any stretch of the imagination. We would spend the nights in the hospitals. My mom, if my dad went to work, we would sleep in the respiratory office at Martha Jefferson. Dad would literally roll stretchers in for my sister and I to lay down on, and he would go in and out of work until they got to a point where we didn't have to do that anymore. So we grew up in this area. We grew up going to local pools and community events, and Charlottesville was always very important to me, and I didn't really realize that. And after college, I moved to Alabama. I wanted to go be with some family. My mom's side was down there, and while I think that is a wonderful, beautiful state, roll tide roll to anybody who's paying attention. My grandfather lived there, and who's since passed, and my great-grandmother and my grandmother, and it was a wonderful place, but it wasn't for me. So when I realized that, there was one question. It was, where do I want to live and where do I want to go? And the answer was Charlottesville. I didn't hesitate. Nothing to worry about. I wanted to come back here and immediately met Mitchell Behrens, the wonderful.
His wife Novi is watching right now.
Hi, Novi.
She says Bo is the freaking man. Literally just put it right there.
Novi is a phenomenal human being and a wonderful artist. Check out her artwork if you get a chance. I love it.
So give a plug to Mitch. Tell us about the relationship with Mitch. Mitch is the man.
I'll give you a plug for Mitch. Absolutely. So Mitchell Behrens and I met at my first restaurant job. As a server anyway. It was Red Robin.
In the mall.
In Charlottesville Fashion Square Mall.
Wow.
I was interviewing for a job, and he was sitting behind the manager that was interviewing me, making some lewd gestures that I will not repeat. And after
did he have the washer earrings?
Oh, back then?
Yeah. Remember those?
Oh, the gauges? I
yeah,
remember.
The gauges. Yeah.
I think they were gone. He was going back and forth at that point. He did have the thin chin strap.
Yeah. Right.
But the interview ended, and Mitch pulled me aside, and he said, man, he was so cocky. He said, he's not anymore, by the way. But he goes, I own this place, and I like you. You're going to work out well. And I don't think after that day there was more than a 2 or 3 day period that went by before our bromance just blossomed into family. And Mitch to this day is my brother.
He's the man.
He's the man. Lampo is one of the greatest restaurants.
Let's give him some background on Mitch and what he owns.
Sure. So Mitchell is the owner of Lampo Pizzeria here in town. He's got some partners there. They also own Prime 109, which I think has food everyone should experience. The steak melts in your mouth, and he has a pate. He served me a couple times. I don't even like pate. I'm from Louisa. and it blows my mind. So, getting out and what he's done for the community, I think, what I'm so proud about Mitch for Jerry is that he's given a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunities to a lot of people. And Mitchell Behrens, all jokes aside, would put anyone else ahead of himself, whether it's an employee, a friend, or an acquaintance. That's who he is. And I'm proud to call him my brother. He's a great man.
Now, how'd you go from Red Robin to Ruby Tuesdays? Because I first met Mitch in 2002 at Ruby Tuesdays. And Mitch, I hope you're watching. Novi, tell Mitch to watch right now.
There you
Leslie Lee says, congrats, Bo.
Thanks,
She's watching
Leslie.
right now. 4 states watching the program as we speak. How did you guys go from Red Robin to Ruby Tuesdays?
Again, that would be Mitch. So all of this misguided steps to get me where I am today and to get you where you are today, they all happen for a reason. Yeah. Mitch went to Ruby Tuesdays, and Mitch was my brother, and I was at Red Robin, and he said, come on down. So I came down and applied and got a job, and it started. And Leslie, who you just mentioned, if you're still watching, she actually worked for me at Shenandoah Crossing. It was the first time I was a manager of a restaurant. That was a wild experience. I'm sorry to all of you for any mistakes I made back then.
How old were you then?
Oh man, 20 maybe, 21. Giving it a whirl. Thought I knew the world. I remember making an appletini and squirting I took green apples, green food coloring, and made a simple syrup and gelled it and then squirted it into a martini glass, made a martini, dropped a cherry in it, took a picture of it, and thought that I was on top of the world. It was a long, long time ago.
Lindsay Daniels, your general manager at Michael's Bistro, is watching right now. We're live on 12 Facebook pages. Give it a like and a share like Ashley Major has done, like Mandy Fogarty has done, like John has done.
I love these people.
Philly. Adrian Brown, I love CVille, but I love Bo even more.
Adrian's
from Adrian
awesome.
Brown right now.
You want to hear somebody sing? Hear Adrian's.
You got people outside Chicago watching the show right now.
That's awesome.
Let's talk about this. Let's
Sure.
talk about the evolution of Bo and the restaurant business. Give us the flip book, if you may.
Well, all right. So this is, I definitely have to start this by saying there is one person that needs to be named more than anyone else when it comes to my development in this industry, and that's Andy McClure. I was very fortunate to be, and his wife Julie, by the way, completely. I was fortunate enough to run and assist in running their operations. And Andy, as an owner and as a boss, he wasn't a kind of man that would just say, go get this done. He would say, this is what we're going to do. Let me tell you how we're going to do it. And where I think he was awesome and what I'm going to do with my future in this business is I'm going to teach people how to do that as well. He showed me. He allowed me to sit in meetings. He actually taught me things. I can't thank him enough. It would be paramount for me not to stress that. Andy, thank you very, very, very much. But that would be the progression. So I got hired to be the general manager of the Virginian. Great job, wonderful restaurant. My opinion, my favorite place in Charlottesville, and I own Michael's Bistro. Go to Michael's, I love it. My daughter painted the walls in that basement. And Andy, as wonderful as he is, and Ashley Major, they've not taken those down. Those drawings are still there, and things like that are very important to me. And I love that place, but it's going to make me cry, Jerry. I'm sorry.
I got a funny Andy McClure story. It's
Sure,
not even
bring it
funny.
on.
It's like Andy McClure means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So I launched this business in 2008 in a recession.
Okay.
Out of
Very hard to do, I imagine.
out of a condo that is now a rental property. At that point, took my life savings, put into it, had no clients for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Had to invite 2 guys that you know. Shannon Maranzano worked at Ruby Tuesdays.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Daly
Okay.
worked at Ruby Tuesdays into the condo to rent rooms to cover the mortgage, or I would have lost the place. My second client in the history of the business, Andy McClure.
Yeah.
He asked us to design and develop websites for the Virginian for 3. Then was Jabberwocky, or was it? No, Jabberwocky first.
Was
and 3. Yeah.
You're still an admin on all the pages.
I really am. I know. For the Biltmore, okay. And then we did well by him. And he's like, you know what? You did well. I want to launch a burger bar in the downtown mall. Help me come up with the name.
I don't know if that worked out very well for him.
Now it's Citizen Burger Bar, which is arguably the most highest grossing business in Charlottesville, Virginia, from a restaurant standpoint.
I can't think of anything bigger.
Right?
Maybe all the collective McDonald's. Maybe.
Maybe.
But I doubt it.
Okay. So, like, he means the world to me as well, along with Julie. Put in perspective the characteristic he has of finding talent, fostering talent, and making those around him better.
Sure, that's very easy to do, Jay. He does it by allowing the people that he entrusts to do it. So, for instance, in my case, he immediately asserted himself into my professional life in a very positive, focused, and dedicated way. He enjoys watching people grow more than he enjoys growing himself, which I think is why he's so successful.
I agree.
But he, I mean, how do you put it? I went from not understanding how to financially operate a business to being able to open up an Excel spreadsheet, not that I was ignorant on Excel, but and create a document that would help me balance my books like an accountant would do. Not to the level that he could do, but I would understand the numbers. I learned how to interact with human beings and how to treat people. And the whole spirit of one of the things that's behind this motivating factor, other than my mother, is every year Andy would always give back all the time. And not a lot of people knew that. He didn't boast about it. He didn't brag about it. He didn't care. He didn't need to. And I was always proud to work for someone like that and grow and learn from it. But now it's my turn, and I hope that this event will go as well as his does.
Simon Davidson from Charlottesville 29 watching right now. Lindsay Daniels says, Jerry, thanks for getting these old stories out of Bo. This is awesome.
Lindsay is phenomenal, by the way. She's a wonderful, wonderful general manager. Lindsay, thank you for all the hard work you do. The restaurant would not be there without your efforts.
Five different states watching the program here. He says, Jeremy Hag says, thanks, Bo. I miss you dearly, and my beard is full but gray as can be. If you're ever out around Tucson,
Arizona,
yeah,
I believe is where
let
it
me
is.
know. Plenty of golf to be played. So we have Arizona watching the program as we speak. All right, so Bo Stockton is now the owner of Michael's Bistro. How does that happen?
So that is very, very fortunate. We talked about in the beginning, Jerry, how we've known each other and how it all started at Ruby Tuesdays. I think that a lot of things in this town happen through connections and who you know and what you do, and not necessarily being privileged, because I certainly am not. But Laura Spetz owned Michael's Bistro, and she acquired it, through some difficult circumstances. Having to do with the original owner and Michael. John Crayfack owns the building, and to make a long story kind of short, he opened Little John's, which is an institution, is a wild success. It's still growing. The current general manager and owner of the business itself, his name is Christian. They're doing wonderful things down there with changing up the menus and the strategy to compete with Sheetz Late Night and all of that. But yeah, Laura ended up acquiring the business after Michael passed, and she wanted to carry on the tradition of what the food meant, what the establishment meant, what the restaurant was, and I loved it. Mitch and I would go there all the time. It was one of our favorite places to hang out on the corner. I would joke with her all the time for years. I want to buy your restaurant. Let me have your restaurant. She would never sell it. She was great at what she did. She was phenomenal at it, and it worked well for her. So long story short, Laura, did it for a decade. A young lady that's working 65, 70 hours a week.
She grinded.
She grinded hard, man.
Yeah.
And I think that she just got to a point where she didn't have a failing business. Michael's Bistro has always been a wonderful business. She just wanted a life for herself, and I'm proud of her, and I'm very happy. Laura, if you're hearing this, ma'am, I'm proud of you, and I love you, and I'm glad that you're doing well now. But she needed to focus on something else, and she asked me on the patio.
You're talking the second floor overlooking
patio,
the corner.
Sitting down in a chair.
I love that spot.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm got some cool things coming with that, by the way. That won't be till next spring. But yeah, we sat down in a chair. Laura had cider and a shot of Fireball, and I had, I believe, a vodka Coke. And we were just chatting, and she looked nervous. I said, what is, Laura, what's wrong? Like, she's never nervous. It's not who Laura is. And she goes, do you want to buy Michael's Bistro?
Wow. When was this?
June 1st or June 2nd.
Okay. This year.
This year.
Okay.
I immediately said yes. Yes. Jumping for joy, yes. Trying to figure out how I was going to do it, how I was going to get money together, how I was going to take care of it. I didn't care about. I knew it's been my dream. It's what I wanted to do. It's what Andy taught me to do. It's what my brother does at Lampo and Prime 109. I wanted it. So I say yes and immediately walk out the building. Very first phone call is my mom. Hey, Mom. I just bought a restaurant. And she's like, no, you didn't. How could you? And I'm like, no, you're right. Not yet, but I'm buying one. Second call was to Andy saying, dude, I've wanted this forever, and I don't want to leave anybody high and dry what's going on. And his words were, I couldn't be prouder of you. This is amazing. Yeah, he
that doesn't surprise me.
Fully supportive.
Yeah.
And through painstaking financing and bank account draining, I spent a bunch of money and opened a restaurant and changed some things, put in a bunch of TVs, and tried to keep the same feel, the quality food, the great service, and just more so a genuine care of my employees. I don't think that businesses should operate without that. And if I go bankrupt trying to do it, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
How about the evolution the impact of what Michael's Bistro did to the Charlottesville UVa Corner?
Wow, it changed it, Jerry. When Michael himself opened that location, you've got wonderful establishments that cater to the students. So back then, that was '94 when they opened Michael's. You could go to Orbit's and play pool. You could go to the Virginian and have a burger. You could go to Biltmore and have thumbs and toes. What Michael's did is it brought an opportunity for an elevated meal, and not fine dining, not scare you off pricing, but just a genuine, more farm to table, more focused on local ingredients, made from scratch. I mean, we do, and they have done. So when I say we, I mean the previous owners and employees have all built what's going on now. But soups are made from scratch every day. The beef is ground and pattied every day. Everything is done for the table. Albemarle Baking Company brings bread in every single morning. It's always fresh. We never refrigerate it. And they've been doing that for a while. So they changed the game. They really brought a chance to get downtown mall quality food to the corner in 1994. And, to my knowledge, I think we're still the only ones doing it now.
I got a great Michael's Bistro story. So started at UVA as a first year in 2000. And that was at the point of the time where you could get into coops if you basically wrote your birthday on a napkin.
On your hand, yeah.
Yeah, and you got in the door. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that.
So my first year at UVA was like coops, and no problem. This was like, pre 9/11, things were easier. Okay. My parents would often come and visit us. My brother was a year behind me. He also went to UVA. My dad went to UVA. So we would go, and they'd love to come visit UVA football games, whatever it may be. And I'm like, Dad, let's go to Coops. Dad, let's go to Buddhist. Dad, let's go to Biltmore.
Yeah.
Dad, let's go to Orbit. James Watson, one of the bartenders at Orbit, when we were going to the corner, is watching right now.
Hi, James.
James Watson, great people. What's up, James?
I remember him.
My dad would be like, no, let's go to Michael's Bistro.
I like your dad, Jerry.
He liked Michael's Bistro because, and I'm not marginalizing any restaurants. I'm not it had some je ne sais quoi, like a level of sophistication to it.
It's a different niche.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's fair to say it has well, it's totally fair to say a level of sophistication if that's your opinion.
Yeah.
I just like to think that it's a different brand. What we're doing over there and what they've been doing is, if your parents, like you just said, your parents come into town, parents weekend, where are you going? You're going to Michael's Bistro if you're on the corner. If you want to go out and you want to have a really nice steak, or you're looking for some swordfish, or you're looking for a fresh vegetable, you're going to Michael's Bistro. And I love Charlottesville so much, and the exploding restaurant scene and Midtown growing with Oak Heart Social being just dynamite entrepreneurs in what they did in that location. Public Fish and Oysters is full every night of the week. People are valuing food more. Uber, Lime, all of this is making it easier, in my opinion, for students to get around now.
Well said.
Yeah.
Talk about that. So when we were younger, when we were pretending to be 21, or we were right after being 21, didn't we just drink on the corner?
Yes, we drank pitchers of beer
of Natural Light on the corner.
Yeah, that's
right?
all we did.
Yeah. Now it's like more like what's the word I'm looking for? Like there are much more options because transportation is it's more ubiquitous.
It's way easier to get around. I can't imagine what I would have done, what we would have done. I mean, think about it, Jerry. If you had an account for this little button on your phone when we were 20 years old that we could hit, it would charge our parents, and we could go anywhere we wanted to go.
Right.
Where the hell would we have ended up? I don't know, man. But no, we spent our time on the corner. And what's great for me is that the corner is still a bustling, booming place. And
have you seen it change?
I have, Jerry. I have. I'm fortunate. I actually just yesterday got elected as a director for the Corner Merchants Association.
Nice.
So I'm
Lorenzoni's on that.
Yeah.
Mark Lorenzoni.
I get to be involved a little bit in how we're spending the money that the great taxpayers of our city give us and allocate it to growing the corner itself. But everybody's done a good job. The mural that they're launching, there's a viewing tomorrow. I don't know if you're going, but it's if not, I can certainly send you an email. We'd love to have you. But
yeah.
We get to see this wonderful, wonderful new piece of art that's being built over there. And then, as corner merchants try to say, how are the kids going to graduate with big fences all around?
Right.
But yeah, the corner's still hustling and bustling and growing and booming, and the people that are there and work there, they really care, and they show it.
We're going to give some love to some people watching,
Please.
and then we're going to talk about what he has going on for Thanksgiving. James says, thank you, fellas, for the shout-out. As soon as I get an opportunity, my wife and I will go on a date to Michael's Bistro.
Love it.
We have not been since the college era, but we will support Bo and Michael's Bistro. Let's razzle him back here. Nick Blessing is watching right now.
Nick Blessing.
Let's give a
up,
little
Nick?
grief back to Nick. He says, talk about a face for radio. This is awesome. Congratulations on your success, Bo Stockton.
We can't all be as handsome as Nick Blessing.
Meredith Ann Taylor, Bo, I miss you and I love you, buddy.
Meredith is a phenomenal human being, and I'm so happy. Congratulations on your wedding. If you haven't had one, I'll marry you.
Aaron K, welcome to the program. Give it a like and a share. 6 different states watching the show. Laura Fauner, executive chef and soon-to-be owner at Dooners.
Great place.
Watching now. Jennifer Mello, Mandy Fogarty, Yalel Perez watching right now.
Hi, guys. If I can, Jerry,
Sure.
I'm sorry. I definitely want to say, by the way, in a shout-out, Miss Fauner, so I don't forget, has reached out to me 2 times asking how Dooners can help with some things that we're going to discuss in a few minutes. I didn't want to forget that. So, Laura, thank you ahead of time. And if you've never been to Dooners, it's a trek. You have to get out there, but it's worth it. Just go. And yeah, Jenny Mello, you can turn the computer off, ma'am.
Jeremy Rodica, congratulations, Bo. Only good things to come for you. Christy Hare, I love you, Bo. Congratulations on your success. All right, Thanksgiving. It has gotten ridiculous momentum. Who, what, when, where, why of the plan?
Okay, this is of cause that means more to me than anything we've talked about, and I've very much enjoyed being here with you, Jerry, and everything you do for the city. But I think that in life, giving back is more important than anything else. I don't often have an opportunity to do that, and when I do, I use it. Right now, I have a wonderful restaurant, a group of employees, a head chef named Matt Lemansky, who is so driven and dedicated. His wife, when she heard of it, is trying to volunteer to come in on, take off work to come in to help prep food. I've got local businesses coming. Sorry, it's just a bit overwhelming. The goal and the concept is to open my doors on Thanksgiving from 1 to 3. All the food and all the beverage are free of charge. It's for if you're homeless and you don't have a place to go, Michael's Bistro is a place for you. If you are alone in Charlottesville and you can't make it home and you don't have a place to go, Michael's Bistro is the place for you. If you have a place to go and you want to be at Michael's Bistro is the place for you. The outcry of support from volunteers has been amazing, and I'm doing all of this because this is how my mother taught me to be when I was growing up. And
a joyful Thanksgiving.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sorry, I heard thinking I'm talking to her. Her name is Joy, and when I told her about it, she is as humble as she is. She said, "Don't make this about me." And don't put it hurt. The first thing I did when I bought the restaurant, Jerry, was create shirts for my staff on the back that said in quotes, literally the best food I've ever had in my life. And then in parentheses, hyphen, Joy Brown Stockton, and then parentheses, yep, that's Bo's mom.
Wow.
My mom is the strongest human being I've ever met.
Talk to me about that.
I mean, Jerry, goes out of her way on a daily basis to assist everyone in our family. She has been overwhelmingly involved with church community in Louisa. My sister has 3 kids. I have 2 kids. My cousin Dana has 6 kids. My mom never stops. All the while now, she doesn't work at UVA anymore, but she manages. She's not a manager. She's way more. She's the director of pharmaceutical research for PRA International. She has to fly to Germany. She has to go to North Carolina. She never, ever stops. And at the end of the day, no matter what's going on, when you go to bed, my mom will do nothing but smile and tell you she loves you. You can see where and age and how tired she is, but she's just a happy, devoted person. And if I can start to reflect her light on other people, then I'd be very proud of what I accomplished.
That was poignant.
Thank you.
That was very well said.
It's my mom, man. So that's what this event's about. It's come on by, grab some food, some better food than you're going to get at a cafe. We're going to cook it. We're going to smoke the meat. We're going to take some time. I've got local high schools sending volunteers, which is amazing.
Really?
These kids are going to come help prep the food.
Good for you.
I've got John Craig, a business owner here, CVille Hop On Tours, has volunteered to send a bus to Louisa to pick up children or homeless or anyone that needs a ride, drive them up for the event, and then drive them back to Louisa. Reed's Market is donating 40 pounds of ham. Standard Produce is donating vegetables. I mean, Ryan Greenwood didn't even give me a quantity. He was like, you tell me what you need. I mean, these people are reaching deep to try to help, and it just makes me happy. And again, it's for my mom, man.
Tom Williams is loving what he's hearing. Frank Withers, go Bo, go. Laura Fonner loves what she's hearing right now. Give it a like and a share like Nate Dotson have done, like Michael Flessner have done. 6 different states watching the program. Arizona and Las Vegas watching the program. Scott Roth, one of the founders of 3 Notch, watching the show. Albie Amisha?
Oh, I love Albie.
Am I saying it right?
I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Albie recently got an opportunity to try out for the, I believe, Ghana World Cup rugby team.
Wow.
I don't know if you made it on the team, Albie. If not, still awesome. You got to try out, brother. I hope you're well.
He says, I love you, buddy, and I'm so very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
When you start hearing folks like Medario, Venable, congratulations,
Great
Bo.
dude.
Definitely
Medaria's
wish
great
you well with the rest. When you start hearing the community and Christy says your family is so very proud of you, I mean, what's going through you right now? Because you come a long, we've both come a long way.
I would say humbled is the only word. Every single person you've mentioned it's so weird. I could tell you stories about them. They're very important people to me, and I hope, and it seems that they value my friendship as much as I value theirs. It's a humbling thing, Jerry. It really is.
You have the gift. You have many gifts. One of the gifts you undoubtedly have is the gift of human connection.
Thank you.
I feel like when you walk into a room, I'm going to embarrass you a little bit. When you walk into a room, you bring like positive, good vibes and energy. People are drawn to you. You're a likable guy.
Thanks.
You know, you have the gift of gab.
I definitely talk a lot.
You make people feel good about themselves. You know, you love life. And the saying is, if you love life, it can't help but love you back. I think epitomizes you. Talk to me about that, loving life.
Sure. I guess if to start, I would say you made a comment that I'm very proud to hear anybody say about me, Jerry, that I try to make people feel better about themselves. But my statement and the way that I like to do that, and what I would want anyone to hear from me that needs to hear it, is you have to love yourself. And all that I do is point out the positives in people. I don't do anything. I'm not going around paying people's bills, and I wish I could, but I just remind people of how awesome they are. I think that that's something that we should do in life. My love of life is simple. My children are growing up. My daughter's going to start dating soon. I'm going to.
How are you going to handle that?
I'm not, Jerry. I think I'm going to move to Chile. I don't know what I'm going to do.
You're going to have what, the 4-iron at the door?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be the shotgun at the door dad or my. This is a literal story that happened to me, and I may use it because it happened in my life. My first date I ever went on was with a girl named Amity Madison, who now lives in Charlottesville, Virginia. And
this is circa when?
Oh God, 1996.
Okay, Louisa County Lions days.
Yeah, so she was 16, I was 15. My mom drove me over, dropped me off. She was going to drive. We were going to go to the movie. She had a green Acclaim. I can't remember the make, but the model was an Acclaim. And when I get into the door, her stepdad, Wayne, awesome person, volunteer for Mineral Fire Department, all of this. He's standing there. And I open the door, and I'm like, "Hi, Wayne, my name is Bo." And he just comes out, takes a hammer, and hits it into the door. And he said, "If you're mean to my daughter, that's where your balls are going to hang."
Jesus.
And I remember getting in the car with Amity going, "We got to go to the movie, and we got to go home." It's immediately back home. I don't remember how I got to that story, actually. I'm sorry.
That's a great story.
Yeah, I mean, I'll never forget it. Oh, it's about my daughter. So I don't know that I want to take that full route with her, but I'm just freaked out, man. She's something special, Jerry. She opened her first business when she was 6 years old. No, I'm sorry. She was 8 years old. And Andy McClure actually assisted in that as well. And her business was Lemonhead Slime Company.
I remember this.
Yeah, she wanted to make slime, and she wanted to advertise it, and she wanted to sell her slime and give money to charity. So I talked to Andy, and he happened to be out of town on a project, but he took time out of his schedule. He FaceTimed my daughter. They had an official conversation and an agreement that she would pay X amount of money, and we drew up an LLC for her, and he allowed us to use the space over by Bell.
That's right.
That wonderful, wonderful new place in Belmont. Yeah, he let us use that location, and she sold slime, and at the end, this is why I don't want any guy to ever date her, because they don't deserve her. But in the end, I said, "Honey, how much of this money?" She raised like $400. Mitch from Lampo came by and gave her $100 for a jar of slime, because that's just how awesome he is. But raised like $400. I said, "How much of this do you want to keep, and how much do you want to donate?" She said, "I want to give it all to St. Jude's." She didn't keep a penny, and so no guy should date my daughter. No.
That's a beautiful story.
No girl should date my daughter.
How about this? I have a son. You have a son and a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Differences. Fatherhood, differences, daughter and son. My wife wants a daughter next. I just want a happy, healthy kid.
Brother?
Is it completely different?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You will never love anything as much as you love your children.
Yeah.
You will never be more proud of seeing your son hit a home run, and you'll never feel more compassion than feeling your daughter hug you because she loves you. They're both wonderful, beautiful emotions and large, but they're different. I'd do anything for both of them. My son is a fantastic, wonderful man, and following in his father's footsteps. I hope when you hear and watch this, James, you deviate from that path a little bit. Yeah, Jerry, having a little girl, man, you'll love it if you have one. It's a blessing, but it's hard because they start dating. She likes boys. They text. That's not fun. Technology, way different.
Takes it to a different level now, right?
It's so freaky.
Yeah.
So freaky.
Because I remember when we were growing up, dude, I didn't get my first, cell phone, and it was a triple tap a number to text. The triple tap, remember?
I remember.
I got it when I was 21. This is the third year at UVA.
Yeah.
And I got it, and it was like, dude, at that point, it was like you had 120 minutes, daytime minutes a month.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I'd call somebody, I'd be like, I'd look at the phone, I'd be like, 57 seconds. Okay, nice talking to you. Bye. To keep it under the 1 minute.
Yeah.
Now it's like these are you don't even know, right?
Yeah.
What they're doing, right?
My daughter, like I said in the beginning of this, man, she blows through data. I think when I added her to the plan to give her a cell phone, I got excluded from the grandfather clause because AT&T was being mean. and they dropped me from it. So I was like, whatever, 4 gigs of data. I've got a lot of people. They're like, you'll never use this. Don't tell an 11-year-old girl that she can't go through 4 gigs of data in 2 days because they.
Are you like, honey, get on the Wi-Fi signal?
She is a TikTok. I don't know if you follow TikTok, Jerry. Man.
That's like the new app, right? The new Instagram.
I think it is. She's been doing it for about a year.
Okay.
And I think it's starting to catch up to some college-age kids now. But man, oh man, is my daughter all over that. And talking about her likes. She made me a TikTok video for Michael's Bistro. I posted it on Facebook. And that's, again, like that's the reason I don't want her to date anybody. She's making videos for me, for my business, out of the kindness of her heart.
Right.
And but it's inevitable, I guess.
Sarah Jones says, Bo, you are doing wonderful things. You truly have such a great heart, and I have no doubt you will be wildly successful. I can't wait to visit the restaurant and give you a huge hug. Mason Wheeler, yay, Bo, I am so very proud of you. If you have a comment you'd like to relay to the restaurateur, put it in the chat box of any of the 12 Facebook pages, and I will gladly do it. 8 different states watching the program now. Trials and tribulations of being an entrepreneur and a business owner.
Wow. I think the hardest thing, if anybody is trying to open a business for themselves, the hardest thing to realize is that, dare I say what a very dear friend of mine and mentor said to me yesterday, be careful what you wish for. When you realize that you have so many people's lives in the balance, every decision you make affects their future and their growth, it's really scary. And it can make you second guess decisions you know are correct, and it can add a lot of stress and bring on a lot of hardship. But at the end of the day, you have to know that these people support you because they know that you support them, and you can kind of get through it. Now, as far as trials, man, good luck. That's there's a lot in restaurants. It's not. I can't imagine how you built this wonderful empire that you've been able to do, Jared. But it's different than a restaurant. Probably harder in ways, especially with legalities.
I'll straight up say it, and I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is nowhere near the challenge of what you're doing. And why I say that, and it's hard as F. It's 11 years. It's so freaking hard. It's lonely. It's 70 hours a week. It's constant, like you said, second guessing and making sure team members are thought of first.
Yeah.
Because their mortgages, their family, depend on it.
They need food.
You are doing it in a space that is as competitive of any business category in Charlottesville, Virginia, period. The only space that is possibly even as competitive as restaurants is maybe real estate agents.
Sure.
What you are doing, talk to me about the category. As a consumer, as a guy that reps a lot of them, I enjoyed the volume that's out there, and I freaking love food. I probably like to drink a little too much.
Sure.
Okay, I love to consume.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm with you, brother.
Okay, work my ass off, I play hard.
Yeah.
Okay, restaurant space in Charlottesville, Virginia, Bo.
Very, very difficult, Jerry. You've got to look at it a couple of different ways. You can be wildly successful wildly financially successful if you are willing to be mean. Quite honestly, a lot of people in my position, I think, are mean. I'm not going to name them on air or go into any of that, but I think the way that they operate is wildly inappropriate, and I don't condone it. So when you try to do it the right way, Jerry, you're just broke all the time, And I think a common misconception is, I have a successful restaurant, and I'm very fortunate that I have a successful restaurant. I'm so happy that I have a successful restaurant. But I think a lot of times people immediately associate that with, oh, you're a wealthy individual. Like, no, my part-time kitchen worker makes more money than I do. I don't cash my paychecks, It gets really, really difficult. It gets really, really hard. And then you have your upticks. I'm speaking obviously not from years of owning, from years of assisting and running and now owning, but there's ebbs and flows, and I kind of am at a loss. I don't really know how to describe it to you. It's a hard thing, but it's a fun thing. It's a very rewarding thing, and the process is very difficult. You have to have some help. Lindsay Daniels
She's watching.
Oh, she was vital in assisting getting my restaurant open. She had done it before with other places in town, and
Boylan Heights, chose, worked at Reve Soup.
Correct, yeah. Andy McClure, I think when I opened, I called him, I would say 5 times a day for about 3 weeks, asking him questions to the point where the joke was, is he on payroll, you know? But you work together, you find a strong team, and anything is possible. And I'm very fortunate, like you were mentioning earlier, all these people that are posting and making these wonderful comments about me, as delusional as they are, they're wonderful people, and they're my friends, and they supported me, and they helped me, and I'm always thankful for that.
What's day-to-day look like for you?
Yeah.
What's a day in the life of Bo running Michael's Bistro?
So I segue. I get made fun of a lot for that. I wake up in the morning.
You live in town?
I do. I live over by Fry Springs.
Okay, great spot.
Yeah, I love it. It's wonderful. I'm a big fan of Silk Tie. Big shout out to those guys. I love you. I go there probably once a week and chat with them. But yeah, great spot. Wake up, ride my Segway into work, get laughed at for riding my Segway.
I mean, it's efficient.
Oh, it beats the traffic too, man.
Yeah.
You see JPA at 9 o'clock in the morning, you can't get through it. And then when I don't Segway, I have an employee named Miles. He comes in from Zion's Crossroads, one of my best friends, a great guy. He'll pick me up some mornings, but going to work, you know, I like to talk to every table, Jerry. I like to talk to my customers. I like to stand at the door. I don't want to sit on a computer in an office. I want to be very active. Usually around 4 o'clock, head home, 2 o'clock if I'm lucky. You know, get out, relax a little bit in the afternoon, and go back and do the same thing for dinner. And then from time to time, especially in the beginning when we needed a lot of help, I was bartending all night long. But we got some great young talent that is interested in being behind the bar, and now I don't have to close anymore, which is great.
So you're grinding. You get there at 9?
If I get there at 9, I'm lucky. I would say that I tell you and anybody listening that I get there at 9, maybe even 8:30, but it's probably more like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try. It's just hard.
This business is going to be, I just have this feeling, knowing you, that you're going to take like this fabulous brand and institution to another level.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking.
Sure.
I'm just like, you have energy and you have experience and vision and chutzpah and hustle and know-how. What are the strategies that you're putting into place to take Michael's Bistro from iconic to the next level?
So the brand itself has an identity of top-notch food in the corner area already. It has a wonderful following of alumni who have been to school there and know that that's where they want to come back and that's where they eat with their parents. What I'm doing is very simple. I'm just updating a menu to continue with current quality standards, updated menu, and reinvigoration of the staff itself, giving promise and hope and ideas. I'm a very open person. My goal is to own more than one restaurant. My father would say I'm too big for my britches. Other people would say slow down, take it one step at a time. And you know what? They might be right. The way that I look at it is you're not going to be able to say that I didn't try, and I'm honest about it. So I have a chef, Matt Lemansky, wonderful man, so talented in the kitchen, so amazing with food, and the way he takes complexity and makes it simple and puts it on a plate, yet it tastes amazing. It's mind-blowing to me. It's wonderful. So I tell Matt, hey man, if I open another location, I would want you to be a partner of it. I would want you to be a part and try to give back to the people that give to the restaurant as well. And I think, hopefully, knock on wood, in 5 years, I have, maybe 5 to 10 years, I have 5 to 10 units, and in different ways in different areas, like LA or Chicago or
I love it.
Charlottesville.
Dreaming big. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Charlottesville, Virginia. What does Charlottesville mean to you?
Charlottesville is my home. Louisa is where I grew up. Louisa is where my roots are, but Charlottesville is my home. This community means more to me than anything other than my kids. I want to help. I want to do anything I can for it. I think the travesty that occurred here.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, man. I think that was. It was so terrible. And
August 12, 2017.
yeah, it's.
How do you reflect now that we have, 2 years and change?
Jerry, I worked that day. I closed. We tried under. I guess I should, to be completely fair. We tried under the guidance of Andy and his recommendation, and I fully support it, to offer a safe place to be, because a lot of businesses were closing. And Andy and myself found ourselves sitting at the Biltmore when a lot of the events started, but before what happened to Miss Heather, unfortunately, it's hard for me to speak of. She worked for me at a different restaurant as well, but we decided we just needed to close. And I believe here on the downtown mall at Citizen Burger Bar, the employees stayed inside. We locked everyone in so they could be safe. The corner, I've never seen it. I was running back and forth between two buildings because I was so worried about my young ladies and my young gentlemen, and how they were going to get home. People carrying bags. It was horrible. And it's not Charlottesville. And I guess my overall point is, I don't think people should dwell the way I just was on it. We are a better community than that. We're a better people than that, and we don't act that way. It's not how we interact with each other. We've known each other, like you said, a long time. How many times do you see any kind of hate of that level
Never.
in this wonderful town? Never. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's not Charlottesville. So it was very off-putting for me, and I really, 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 really hated that day. But Charlottesville is my home. This is where I will live until the city tells me they don't want me here anymore. So Longo, please don't say that.
How do we make sure that August 12, 2017 does not define us, Charlottesville, Virginia, as a community?
I think by being what Charlottesville is on a daily basis, we can do that on our own. I think the only reason, or not the only, but the main reason that we're identified that way, Jerry, is the media nationwide and worldwide exploited it, and they're only doing their jobs. They're reporting on what happened. I'm not going to blame them for reporting on that, but that's all that they saw. They didn't see this wonderful place that has wonderful people that have grown up and known each other for years and opened wonderful businesses and done everything they can to help other people. They didn't say any of that. So it took about a year, man. Restaurants saw a hit. It took about 12 months before, and I'm sure other retail businesses did as well, before that uptick started to turn back. And I'm not a politician, so I don't know how to answer it, but I hope nothing like that ever happens again.
Amen. You are 62 minutes in. You've crushed and carried the show.
Thanks.
No doubt that you're going to hit a home run. I'd like to get the who, what, when, where, why one more time.
Sure.
Of your endeavor on Thanksgiving at Michael's Bistro.
Absolutely. So on Thanksgiving Day from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., I'm going to have turkey and ham and stuffing and cranberry and tea and coffee. Any person in Charlottesville is encouraged to attend. The design and the idea for the event is to help those that need the help. I'm not going to turn anyone away. If you're lonely and you need a place to go, please come. If you have a place to go and you want to stop by Michael's Bistro, please come. If you want to come help out, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, Facebook, something, but we'd love to have you. But yeah, we're going to feed 1 to 3. We got to set up, we got to break down, and it's open to all. So if you know of families in need, if you know of people that specifically just don't have anything, reach out to them. They might not be able to see this program. They might not be able to access the CVille that I ran an ad in for this. They might not be able to see all of that. So tell people, help me spread the word. My goal is to be so full, I can't accommodate everybody. And I know that's a silly goal, but that means I've given it my all.
Rachel Burns, good friend of both of us.
Love Rachel.
She said, "Nice work, Bo. You are very well behaved today." And I responded, "I thought the same, Rachel."
Day ain't over yet.
Amen, brother. Judah and Lauren, producers on this program, make sure we run this show extra hard between now and Thanksgiving, please.
Thank you.
Let's get it far and wide. You crushed today.
Thanks, man.
Seriously, it was fun.
All right, Jerry, thank you for the opportunity, brother. This is amazing. I love the show. I love to be on it. I'd love to do more with you. I'd love to work with you in the future.
Anytime. It was a pleasure. Bo Stockton is the fabulous and enterprising owner of Michael's Bistro on the UVa Corner. Get the word far and wide about what he's doing on Thanksgiving. He is undoubtedly a social entrepreneur who's committed to running a business in the black, but doing it in a way that makes the community a better place for all of us. And that's the definition of what we strive to do here at V&V Brands and I Love CVille, conscious capitalist, social entrepreneur. This program, guys, tries to showcase the best of Charlottesville, Virginia. Our whole goal here is to showcase the best of Charlottesville, Virginia. We were right outside this store on Market Street during August 12, 2017, and saw evil that I'd never seen before. This a manifestation of what we saw on August 12, 2017. I closed the program with the same message every time. I do not make this about religion. I do make this about the essence of the golden rule. Treat other people in your life how you want to be treated yourself. The golden rule. The other people you encounter in the world, treat them how you want to be treated yourself, and it's going to make the community better. Charlottesville needs the golden rule. Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, and we know the country needs the golden rule more than ever. I'm Jerry Miller. It's the I Love CVille Show. We will archive today's program on ilovecville.com. We will turn it into an iTunes podcast. We will syndicate it for 30 days across 17 Facebook pages, 17 Twitter accounts, the third largest Instagram in Central Virginia, an e-newsletter that goes out to 118,000 inboxes every morning at 11 a.m., and of course, on our flagship website. Enjoy your afternoon, guys. Take care.
Jerry, thanks, brother.
It was fun.
Hey,
Easy.
do you have stickers or anything that I can
Oh,
throw out?
absolutely.
The restaurant?
Yeah, we will give you a sticker. Absolutely. One more thing we got to do. We're going to take the hero photo.
Sure.
We'll do it under this light.